Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm reviewing a pen from Kaweco, and this is one we have been waiting for a long time. It was probably the worst kept secret in the fountain pen world for a while. It is this pen. This is the Kaweco, well, this is the box the pen comes in. This is the Kaweco Sport AL piston filler. So we all know and love the Kaweco Sport pen model. And this is a version of that pen that is a piston filling pen. So it has an inbuilt piston mechanism. So I'm going to talk about the parts and features, do a writing sample, talk about some pros and cons, all of that kind of stuff. So this pen comes in a tin. Now there are two different versions that you can get of this. This is the basic version. I don't need another bottle of ink. The more sort of deluxe version comes with a small bottle of ink as well. I have plenty of ink. So here it is. Comes a little bit of information in there, and here is the pen. So it's been here originally released in black with gold trim. I'm sure, seeing as though this is an anodized aluminium material, that there will be more and more versions of this pen released over the years. I think this is going to be an incredibly popular pen model. So it follows the basic form and function here in a lot of ways of the original Kaweco Sport. So this is a Sport that I carry around every day. This was an exclusive one done with the Australian retailer Milligram back in the day, no longer available, and a slightly different colour sage to their regular Sport sage that they have now. So you can see that in terms of size, they're fairly similar. There's a few little differences. I'm not going to go into those differences today. That may be a video I do later down the track. This is going to be a review of the piston version. But you can see they more or less follow that basic sort of design that Kaweco have been using for ages for their Kaweco Sport pen models and the AL and all of that kind of stuff. So let's talk about parts and features. Starting at the top of the pen, you get Kaweco. And Kaweco on the little medallion there. And Kaweco is a name made up of portions of the names of the creators with Co for company. I like that a lot. Then you get a little gold band, which the clip is attached to. It's sort of a more vintage style clip than the standard sport clip you can get. I like it. I like it a lot. It's super usable, which is great for a smaller pen like this, which is designed, I suppose, to be carried in a pocket. It goes over, material and things very well. The barrel continues along straight, and it is the typical Kaweco Sport faceted body. It's got Kaweco Sport in a blind engrave on the side there. And then this sort of tapered step down to the round barrel, gold ring, and the end of the pen. A couple of little things. Firstly, you can unscrew this end cap here, which I enjoy, even though there's no need to, and actually shows you where the nib is. Just a part of taking apart the pen, where the cap attaches. The pen unscrews here, and you have the body of the pen. There is an ink window here, and then some relatively smooth threads, and then the typical small section there, and there is the nib. I have it here in a medium nib. Now, this end is where the business end is. So you unscrew this, and you get, which is a blind cap, and you get the piston knob there. And even that has a little Kaweco medallion. If I can get the camera to focus on that Kaweco medallion there. And then you turn that knob. I'm not going to obviously activate it right now because it's filled with ink. And a piston runs up and down in the pen, typical, the same as any piston filling pen mechanism. Now, obviously, the Sport is a small pen. It is a pocket pen, and it is designed to be posted, and it posts very nicely and securely on the end, making a small but very functional size pen. As you would have seen, it is a screw cap, and it comes off in about 1.5 turns. This is an anodized aluminium pen, so you've got metal threads on metal, so there will be some noise, but it's not unpleasant, and it's well machined. Okay, size comparison here with the standard Sport and then, of course, a Lamy Safari. The Sports are smaller pens. They are designed to be pocket pens. Uncapped, you see they are much shorter. These are pocket pens. This is not the way they are designed to be written with, but that is them in comparison to the Lamy Safari. Now when they're posted, you actually see the AL Sport is a little shorter there than the regular plastic Sport. Both are considerably shorter there than the Lamy Safari. But the two Kaweco Sport models, both the original and the new piston filler, do make decent sized pens in the hand when they are posted. So what are the specific dimensions here? We've got 106 millimeters when it is capped. It's 101 millimeters when it is uncapped. It's going to be way too small for most hands. It's not designed to be written with like this. And posted, the pen comes in at 129, which I don't think would be too small for anybody, but it is small in the hand. It's the way this pen is designed to be. Around the section is around 9 millimeters and around the body is about 13 millimeters. The pen weighs 23 grams. And that is both 11.5 in both the body and in the cap. But because it posts so deeply and the weight sits there on the hand, you definitely don't feel half the pen's weight there. It feels like a very well balanced, nicely formed pen. So let's do a little writing sample here with the Kaweco AL Sport Piston filler. This has a steel medium nib, and the ink in this is Sailor Ink Studio number 640. Absolutely loving this ink. Let's do a writing sample. So it's not the broadest medium I have in my collection, but it writes exceptionally smoothly. There's not even a whole lot of feedback on this nib. I think it is actually rather nice. Not super wet. I wouldn't say, it's a gusher or anything, but it lays down a nice enough amount of ink to be a very pleasant experience. Reverse writing, it's doable. It's not the most ideal, and it does sort of dry out. Definitely not a flex nib. Not even worth really trying. Now for fast writing, I do not have a single scrap of issue with how this pen writes. It's smooth, it's super reliable, and reliability is very, very important when you're talking about a pocket pen. These are pens that you want to have in your pocket to carry every day. There's a reason this pen is made from aluminium. It's robust. It's going to, stand up to pocket abuse. It's got an inbuilt piston filling mechanism, so it has a good ink capacity. And it writes like a dream. It's, as I said, it's smooth. There's barely even any feedback. It's reliable, no hard starts, no ink starvation, anything like that. It writes well. What more would you want? Okay, so this is a new release. It's only been out the last little while. And in Australia, just released, it's coming in at around the $299.95 mark. So just under $300, which I think it's a comparable price. Let me put it that way. I've seen it listed for like 127 or 137 euro, around the 175-ish American dollar mark. So it is a considerable kind of markup, and it is not an inexpensive pen. It is certainly more expensive than most of the sport models, not so much the, when you start to get into the brass or the bronze and things like that. But in terms of the AL Sports, it is certainly more expensive, but you do get that piston filling mechanism, which everyone has been wanting for so long, because with all its wonderful features, the ink capacity available for the Sport is limited depending on what you want to use. If you're happy using cartridges and refilling cartridges, you get what you get. You can eyedropper this pen, but a lot of people aren't interested in doing that for whatever reason. And then the converters have very small capacity. So having a piston filling Sport, great move. And they've done an amazing job with it. So I think at that price point, it is sitting a little high, but you are getting a lot of small pen for your money. So let's talk about pros and cons. I find it hard to find cons for this pen. Some people are going to find this pen small in their hand and maybe even too small. And that is even in comparison to some of the other sport models. It's not overly heavy, and it is slightly smaller than the plastic models. The other issue I have is that posting is incredibly secure. And pulling it, you sometimes feel like it's going to give. So I don't know about you, but often when I am pulling caps, I just like twist them ever so slightly to disengage that, and then you've released the blind cap, and that's now sitting in the back of the cap. Now it's very easy to put that back on, and you can twist it the other way and it goes off, but you are posting onto that blind cap, so you're not going to activate the piston, which is why a blind cap is so great, but it does do that. Just mentioning that. But so many pros. Firstly, an inbuilt clip is great. I know a lot of the like art sports and things like that have had inbuilt clips, so it's nice to see it here as well. The fact it's a piston filler, massive pro. We've been waiting for one of these for a long time. It harkens back to sport models from the past, so it's great they've brought this back in. And the vintage styling of the pen is very, very clear from the clip to the lines. It's very, very inspired by the vintage Kaweco pen models. The other thing I love is that there is an ink window. Any piston filling or vac filling pen that doesn't have an ink window is really suffering. Like, for instance, the Visconti Homo Sapiens. I love that pen, but no ink window, and that is always going to be an issue. So here we have a good size ink window. It's got good form and function, all of that. And that's one of the things I love about this pen is the fact that it's well made, well designed, and has good form and function. It's an easy pen to use and a pen I personally really enjoy using. So that was my review of the Kaweco AL Sport Piston Filler Fountain Pen. A big thank you to Kaweco Germany for sending this out for review. I have really appreciated their support of my channel and continuing that into the future. So please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there is a way you would like to support the channel, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.